Hello and welcome to today's video where I'll be taking you through how to use Revit from beginners level down to pros level. The last video we talked about how to download Revit 2024 and install the Revit 2024. Though it may not necessarily be you using Revit 2024, you can use the subsequent years or you can use the previous years regardless, but basically most of the processes are the same. Now we'll be going through how to use Revit 2024, the interface display, and everything you need to know about the interface in today's video. So stay tuned. Best option for you is to have your own system and follow along so you get acquainted to the interface, not just watching the video alone. That will help you pretty well and that will make your learning process very fast. Now, when you open Revit 2024, this is the first interface you encounter. At this interface, we have both the model interface where you can model your project, and we have the families interface where all the families like the doors, the windows, the parametric models, templates, all are being situated. And in this reference files encompasses all the drawings you've done or all the drawings you've done and the families as well together. Some of them comes along with what the Revit templates and the Revit projects that are being done, or you'll find it here. Then for a start, if you want to open your Revit 2024, you click on new, or if you're having some other subsequent projects you want to work on or some previous projects you've worked on and you want to continue working on, you click on open, locate the project where it's being situated, and you open it directly. But for now we're going new since it's from beginners level down to the pro level. When you click on new, a new project template interface comes up where you have to select your template file. Either you're using a construction template, architectural template, structural, mechanical, system, electrical, plumbing, and thereabouts. But we'll be using architectural template for this our course from beginning to the ending. So I'll click on architectural templates. Here we have create new project. We can create a project or we can create a project template. That's create our own personal template. Instead of using all the templates Revit provided here, we can create our own templates personally, but we won't be doing that. We'll be creating a new project. Then we'll click on new. Then another interface will open. This is the Revit interface where all your ribbons, your toolbars are being situated. Then as well, sorry, it is taking time. Then as well, your property panels and your project browser. This is all where you locate them. At first, we'll be going through how to use all of these, all of these tools in the ribbons and all the toolbars as well. So for a start, this is basically what we'll be using: the architectural template, the annotate template, and also the massing and site template with basically the modify ribbon, the modify tool. So basically in architectural template, this is where we'll find our wall, our doors, windows, components, columns, roofs, ceiling, floor, railing, ramp, stairs, rooms, room separator, tag rooms, and thereabouts. Then this is our property panels. In these property panels, any of the tools you select here, this is basically where you can edit it, you can change the levels, you can edit the materials and thereabouts. While on this project browser, this is where all our floor plans, our ceiling plans, our 3D views, elevations, our sections, our sheets, and thereabouts, this is where they are being located. So for a start, when you hear about wall in Revit, wall in Revit is not like the common traditional 2D softwares we normally use. In Revit here, anything you're creating is in 3D components, and it automatically creates your elevations, your sections, and even your 3D model without any hassle or without needing to create the 2D before going to creating the 3D. In Revit, the 2Ds and the 3Ds are being created simultaneously. That's automatically. So basically, when you hear about wall, in this wall, we'll have both the wall architectural, the wall structural, and we'll have the wall by phase. But basically, we'll be making use of the wall architecture. So when you click on this wall architectural, it opens the modify toolbar, which I told you that we'll be using most of the time. In this modified toolbar, you can either select how you want to draw your wall, which shape you want to use in drawing your wall, and also which methods you're using in drawing your wall. Then comes to the property bars, where you need to select what type of wall you want, if they are retaining walls, if they are normal walls, they are brick walls, they are partition walls, curtain walls, storefronts, etc. You can just name it, you find them here. But basically, what we'll be using most of the time here will be our normal wall, which is the generic wall exterior, whereby if I am to click generic wall exterior, you can draw walls. The line here is being selected, so you can draw walls in straight lines. Depending on which shape you want to draw, you can draw different shapes of wall in this particular place. This is how the wall line works. Then if you're using the rectangle, by the time I click on rectangle, I can draw a rectangular wall. If I click on this inscribed polygon, I can draw an inscribed polygon wall. If I click on this, so and so forth. This is how it works. Ctrl Z, 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 thereabout. Then also again, when you actually want to insert doors, when you click on wall, you can create a wall. To insert a door, you just need to click on doors, come back to architecture, click on doors. There are the normal generic doors that Revit already creates. You can either use the generic doors that Revit already has, or if you have Revit components, that Revit templates, where you can actually select all those doors and windows, you can just come down to load family. When you go to load family, you locate where your Revit components are. Mine are located under my Revit city, which if you're in need of it, I'll be posting a link below for you to download this component itself. So if I'm to click on doors, there are different kind of doors here I could use. And if there are different kind of doors, you can just name them. So I'll be posting the link below for you. This is loading. I clicked on a door. This is loading. I'll be using different kind of doors for this tutorial, from beginning to finish. Then also how you can edit these doors easily with the materials themselves. So in this place here, it is still loading. My system is lagging actually. In this place here, if I'm to zoom in, this is the door. You can actually use this door the way it comes, or you can edit it. Here in this edit, you have where you can change the height, the width, which is this, the height, the width, and a lot more. You can even change the materials itself. That's if the material for the door is not okay for you, you can actually change it, but we won't be doing that since this is just a practical. When it comes to our main project, we'll actually be doing that. Then when it comes to your window as well, the same process for the windows. There are the normal templates that the generic windows that comes with Revit. This is it. And if it's not okay for you, you can actually just come to load into family as well. Then locate your windows in my Revit template, Revit city, which I already spoke to you about. Here I can select either if I'm using a casement window, an awning window, a sliding window, and thereabout. You can just name it. There I can select which kind of windows I want to use. Then the next we'll be talking about as well is the component. In this component, we have two different kind of components. We have the place a component, where in this place a component, there are different components that come attached to Revit, which is this. If I am to click here, these are the components that come attached to Revit. We have the trees, we have some chairs, some toilet metal. Yeah, you can just name it. But if these components are not okay for you, for instance, maybe you're planning on placing a furniture or thereabout, I can just come back to my load family, look for where the furniture templates are, which is this. So maybe possibly I need a chair. I can just click on this chair and look for which particular kind of chair I want. Then as well, I can load this particular chair into my drawing itself. So it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. This is the chair. I can actually keep it here like this. And take note that anything we're doing here, just like the way I mentioned to you, this is actually Revit. That's the difference between Revit and AutoCAD. This is Revit. everything you do in 2D is actually being done as well in 3D. So it does both the 2D and the 3D modeling simultaneously. So this is the 3D view where you could possibly just hold the shift key on your keyboard, then your middle rotational button on your mouse. This is it. You can rotate anywhere. You can rotate clockwise, you can rotate anti-clockwise, up, and you can rotate it down as well. That's a choice. And take note of something, that in Revit, there's what we call level itself. When you hear level, that's on which level you're drawing. Currently, like this, from what we are having, we're drawing on level 1, and we did not actually set which height we want the height of this wall to reach. So that one as well can be set to your desired distance. So in creating a project at first, since this is just basically me taking you through the interface of Revit, when we're about going into and how to use all these tools, I'll be telling you step by step on how to create a project from beginning to the ending. So now, this is roof. You can actually create roof as well in different formats. We have both coming. We have both roof by footprints, roof by extrusion, roof by face. Basically, this roof by face are being used most of the times on massing. While roof by extrusion, you can actually just create your roof based on the shape you want, based on extrusion itself, just like the way you see it here in the video description. That's in the description here. Then as well, roof by footprint. You can create roof based on the shape of your floor plan, just like what you're seeing here as well. Then you go, all these things are going to be explored one after the other. When the needs come, we'll definitely explore it, and how to use them, we'll definitely talk about them. Then we'll have the insert tool, when you can actually import your card if you already have your drawing on card, like AutoCAD and other CAD softwares, or you can actually import a PDF. That is, if your design is in PDF and you want to trace it out on Revit, you can do that. Or you can actually import an image as well. Maybe you saw an image of a floor plan you actually want to replicate. You can import it here as well and trace it. Then comes the massing and sites, where you can create your sites, your site components, your parking components, and your property lines as well, which we'll also be discussing more on when the time comes. Then the modify tool, where you can actually offset, you can align, you can move, you can copy, you can rotate, you can mirror based on axis, you can mirror based on draw, you can trim and extend corners, you can trim and extend single elements, about all these tools. We'll actually be exploring them one after the other. So with just these few points, this is where the scales are. You can change your scales depending on how big or how well detailed you want your works to be. Here you can change the detail level from coarse to medium to fine. The coarse is less detailed, the medium is just like the name states, medium, while the fine is the most detailed part of the drawing. Then here you can either change it to either wireframe, where everything is in wireframe. You'll be seeing all lines being drawn. You can change it to hidden, which is normally the default. You can change it to shaded. It will use the color of your material. You can change it to consistent color, almost the same with the shaded. Then you can actually change it to texture, which will show the texture of your material, just like what you're seeing here. And as well, you can change it to realistic, which is to show also the realistic view of your material itself, which is loading. So all those things, I'll be putting you through how to use all these materials one after the other. You just need to stay tuned and follow using your own laptop as well. We'll be going through all this, which we've already spoken about: the wall, the doors, the windows, and how we can actually import all the components and templates. This is where the floor plans are, where you can actually change all these names easily. You just need to click here and rename it. If this is meant to be your natural ground level, you just change it to natural ground level. Then goes, if here is your first floor, you change it as well, and subsequently you can change it, just like, would you like to rename the corresponding level? You click on yes, it has changed automatically. You can change this so on and so forth. And in your elevation, you have what we call the north, the east, the south, and the west. This is just more like what you already know about the front, the left, the right, and the back. It's just the conventional naming, but this time around they make use of the cardinal point. Where is your north being located? Where is your south being located? Where is your east and where is your west being located? So I'll actually be stopping here. In the next video, we'll be making use of these tools gradually, step by step, not just talking about it. We'll be making use of it in creating our own design, our own drawing, and how we can use all these tools in achieving that drawing we want to create. So have a nice day and stay tuned for our next video. See you in the next video, and thank you very much.